Were on our air, and you had your own sort of idea of how it was going to go and polls and numbers that you had crunched, and you gave Donald Trump North Carolina and Florida, two things that other pundits were not doing.
You also had Clinton winning.
You had Clinton winning, so okay.
Yeah. Before
before
his breast swells too much with pride.
Right. Okay, but those were the pivotal states. Those were at that time last night, hours ago. Those were the moments when Clinton's camp started gasping.
Let's put up those numbers.
Let's look at those, because let's look at how what the polls said. The polls of polls. In other words, all of the polls crunched together. Let's start here with Florida. The poll of polls, well, they saw it even, but he won.
Right. So I had Hillary winning a very narrow victory. I think I gave her 274 electoral votes. I thought Trump would win Florida and North Carolina. I did not think Trump could go win Wisconsin or Pennsylvania. And, you know, I'm sort of cursed. I have this encumbrance of actually having followed politics and seen Republicans time after time go into Pennsylvania, and it's fool's gold. They always end up losing it. I think somebody like Donald Trump, in a way, it's a blessing. He saw things from a perspective that he wasn't sort of burdened by following politics as closely, and so that sometimes gives you a fresh perspective. But clearly, I think we are now at the beginning stages of a reordering. I think that the Republican Party is going to be the party of working-class whites in the Rust Belt in places like Pennsylvania and Ohio and Wisconsin. And in the short term, I think that's a good thing if you care about winning elections. I still am concerned about the long-term ramifications, because I think you end up losing Arizona and Nevada and you know, the sort of Sunbelt states.
Well, President-elect Trump made an interesting point. He said, for this to be truly historic as a win, we have to do a great job. There is a burden of the mandate of change, which is you actually have to do something. And when we look at why he won, you have two angles you look at, right, as a surveyor, as a pollster: width and depth. Here, they saw where he'd get his support, but they didn't how deep it would be. And these are people, John, that you were tracking all over the country who want to see something real from their government.
You know, people say, what happened? The answer is it all happened, right? I mean, this was a political realignment. You talk about the Rust Belt. Donald Trump won white voters that voted for Barack Obama.
Let's put those numbers up.
Okay.
Michigan,
that's
Wisconsin.
No, that's a great point, because it's not just the missing white voters who weren't voting in the past. It's a lot of people who voted for Obama.
Put the numbers
and now
up.
they're voting for Trump.
Michigan.